And that brings up a great question. How do you determine whether a lead is a legitimate lead to investigate?
That's a great question. I think in the BFRO, we've had about 63,000 tips, witness accounts, of which you can rule out about half as jokes. You know, I got a Bigfoot living in my basement.
Yeah.
Good. Here's some Lysol. You're going to need it.
If you can find it now.
Yeah, that's true. And then there are obviously people who need assistance mentally. We keep getting a report from a very nice woman, but she keeps seeing Bigfoot on State Street in Madison. Not likely.
Not likely.
But the rest of the reports we get are really interesting. And
like those kids, I want to interrupt you here. That kid, that father and son team, right?
Right.
You can't fake legitimate fear.
Exactly. Not exactly. And that's why you go out, you listen to, you would like to meet the witnesses face to face. Sometimes that's not possible. You just communicate with them over the phone. I know Jeff, when he interviewed the father and son, he spent hours with them and got to know them quite well and was able to judge their character, and they weren't lying. What we look for in reports, I've seen them anywhere from like, I saw a Bigfoot. Okay, that doesn't help, to these wonderfully written 3, 4, 5 paragraph long stories.
Right.
And you kind of can rule those out too, because there's just way too much detail.
Right, because if they had that much detail, then they have documented an actual creature.
Right. And and then you fact check. I saw it during a full moon. You check the date. Well, it was a new moon, so there's one.
Right.
You check out the location. Is there any way that it could have been anything else? When we go in to investigate, we're going in basically trying to debunk the witness, if you will.
Right.
That what they saw was a bear. What they saw was just a stump with leaves blowing at it out in the distance, something like that.
Right. And so when you investigate something, walk me through the process. What does an investigation look like? So you basically do a phone interview. After the phone interview is done, if you think to yourself, or do you think to yourself, wow, this is legitimate, I want to meet these people and I want to see if they have any other corroborating evidence?
Good question. The very first report I ever fielded was an 83-year-old guy who was just a nut. He was hilarious. Lived up on the Wisconsin River, and he came home one night and saw one standing right on their back porch. And I'm thinking that's not really likely. But I went up to his house. I interviewed him in person. I interviewed him on the phone. I got to know the guy. He wasn't bullshitting. He saw something on his back porch when he came home one night. And then he had other stories where he and his wife were sitting in their whirlpool on their deck and saw stuff out in the woods around their house.
Bob, this is why I live in Chicago.